Die FarmSpace drukbewydingstoer moontlik gemaak deur King Price Insurance, Verback Voermil en Agricol. FarmSpace, ons praat boer.
Hello and welcome to FarmSpace. I'm visiting Werner Gouws here at the Gouwsberg Tuli Stoet, just outside Bronkhorstspruit here in Gauteng. Now we're talking strip grazing, what it is, how do you do it, but especially here, how do you do it with 680 bales and about 23 hectares. So let's ask Werner on how he is doing it and making a profit as a businessman within strip grazing and bale making. Werner, welcome to FarmSpace.
Thank you, Tinus.
Okay.
Nice. Thank you for having me.
Okay, quickly, Eragrostis. Why choose Eragrostis as in this area?
We are at in the Highveld area, and especially in the Highveld, it is very the Eragrostis is very adaptable in the Highveld, especially this Achbal cultivar. It's a I'm saying new cultivar, but it is actually a mixture between two other cultivars, and for me it works very well on my farm and in my what I want to achieve with my farm. This cultivar works perfectly for that reason. Why so? I'm baling grass for the industry, especially for the equestrian industry and for the dairy industry, and then I do strip grazing. As soon as this bales comes from the field, I'm putting in my cattle to strip graze the second or the third cut.
Okay, this achbal that you're using currently,
yes.
Why is it more palatable?
It is a softer grass. I think it is softer on the palate for the cattle as well. It makes a nice spall at the bottom to give you the volume. As you can see here, the area is about 23 hectares, and we've managed to bale now 680 bales onto this 23 hectares, which roughly gives you around 7.8 tons per hectare. Yes.
Okay. This is quite a thin leaf, so it's easily digestible as far as I understand, and this works perfectly for you.
Well, for the horses as well.
Yeah.
So I'm using this to actually sell, to make a profit out of my grass for the equestrian industry and for the horses and for the dairy farmers as well. They prefer that. Usually the horses only wants a softer grass like your teff, but this works even better than the teff. So I've got a big market in Gauteng and the Highveld for a specific, actually for this cultivar grass, and you must cut it at the right time as well.
Okay, when do I cut it? Let's start there.
Well, it all depends on your growth, and it all depends on when the rain comes. This year it was a very funny year. We only received rain the last year in January, so this is actually our first cut. Usually in about October, the last week in October, just after the first rains, we throw stikstof. What is stikstof? Nitrogen, about 84N nitrogen, and then we wait for the rains to come, and our first cut is usually just before, while in seed.
Okay.
It must be strong in seed, and then we cut it with a disc mower.
Okay. You've done the cutting now. You've finished the baling.
Yes.
It's about 2-3 weeks old if I look at it. 2
yes.
weeks old that it's standing here. And now are you planning on starting your strip grazing?
Strip grazing, yes. As soon as these bales are out of the field, the cattle comes in. This is now, there won't be time for a second cut because it's already too late in the season. So usually in the previous year, this was my second cut, and then the third cut, the outgrowth of the second cut is usually what I use for the strip grazing. So that works very well if you use the growth from the second cut for the strip grazing, because the saliva of the cattle works very well in stimulating the growth of the grass as well.
Okay, so it's not hurting the grass at all, putting them in afterwards. It's actually helping the growth.
No, it's actually helping the grass.
It's helping the grass, and it's getting in. But you make sure all your cattle run through this in the winter.
Yes, a lot of cattle on a small piece of land. A lot of cattle, about 150 to 200 cattle. I usually work on a square meter ratio of about 25 to 35 square meters per animal per day. So that is very intensive grazing, and they stay there for a day or about 10 or 12 hours, and they usually open up for the cattle in the morning and then in the afternoon as well. So twice a day, and I make corridors with the strip grazing so that we can open up for them twice a day. And if you do that, it is not necessary to cut again.
Okay, so you open forwards and they can walk back to the water.
And they walk back to the water. Yeah, we will go into that more intensively
during the
during the Boeredag.
On our Farmers Day.
On the Farmers Day, yes.
Okay, here we go. Thank you for listening. Thank Werner for your input here. If you want to know more, contact Agricol. Find out how they're doing it, and find out how you can keep more than 700 animals on 600 hectares. Until next time, cheers.
Thank you.
Die FarmSpace drukbewydingstoer moontlik gemaak deur King Price Insurance, Werner Gouws en Agricol. FarmSpace, ons praat boer.